Hey, I'm Wendy. Welcome to the RN for God show. As a trusted healthcare professional, a RN for the last 24 years, I want to help you to discover how to be healthy. I'm going to guide you through the myths, the facts, and the essential tips that you need to live a high quality of life. The Bible says in John 10:10, Jesus came that we could have life and have it more abundantly. And I believe that he meant for us to have that on earth. Let's dive in, learn about health strategies so that you can live that abundant, healthy life right here on earth. Hey everyone, welcome back to the RN for God podcast show. So today I'm going to change up a little bit. Everything in the United States is pretty much politicized, and that includes our health care. That includes how we access what is available to us, even, the foods that we eat, the medications that we take. So everything, just about, in my opinion, everything is politicized. So today we want to talk a little bit about the political scene. So we all know that we have a new president. He was just inaugurated in. And regardless of whether you voted for him or not, regardless of whether you like him or not, he is now the president of the United States. And I hear a lot of black people, especially black women, saying that they're done. They're going to sit out the next 4 years. They're sitting down. And I don't think that we should do that. I think that now is the time that we should gather our proverbial troops and dig in our trenches and get busy working. So first, let's break down how our government was actually established. And for some, this is a reminder. But again, you all know that I don't take for granted what people know. I don't make that assumption that everybody has the same information, because in my experience, everybody does not. So the government is run by 3 branches: the judicial branch, the executive branch, and the legislative branch. So the executive branch is the president. The presidential powers are that he can veto laws, he controls foreign policy, and he determines how the laws are enforced. And I was going to say he or she. One day we will have a female president. I do believe that wholeheartedly. So again, the president's powers lies in having the power to veto laws, control foreign policy, and how laws are enforced. That's the executive branch. The legislative branch is where all of the power is. That is where the laws are made. That's made up of Congress, which is both the House of Representatives and the Senate. Now we know that right now all areas of law are run by the Republicans. So you have a Republican president, you have a House and a Senate that are both predominantly Republican. Now there are some Democrats there too, and I believe a few independents as well. But don't get deterred and think that nothing can happen bipartisanly, which means that the Democrats and the Republicans work together to get things done. So the judicial branch is who interprets the laws. So people I know during the race, the prior to the election, there were a lot of things about what was said and what was going to happen and this and that. Excuse me. Now that we're here, right, we can't go back and change anything. But now that we're here, we have to do what we can do to try to make sure that things are done with representation for us. How do we do that? Well, we get involved. We attend city council meetings. We got to start small, right? First, we start attending those school board meetings. Then we start attending those city council meetings, those township meetings. We start connecting and contacting our congressmen and our senators, our House of Representative people. We start contacting in the counties, your city council representative. You start contacting your mayors, your governors. There are organizations, large corporations that have lobbyists. These are people that have jobs that go out and they are paid big bucks. And corporations pour big money in to them to go to Capitol Hill, to be in these senators and congressmen's faces. Excuse me, congressmen and congresswomen faces, to get them to vote to the way that they want them to. And they offer different things to get it done for them. We as Black people, we don't really have anybody representing us, right? So we got to do that for ourselves. Did you know that for the gross domestic product, Black people contribute $1.7 trillion of that? Did you hear me? $1.7 trillion is what we contribute to the United States gross domestic product. Well, what is that, you ask? That is how much money the United States makes from everything that we produce, we buy, we sell, we trade, all of that stuff. Nationally, that is how much Black people contribute. Just ask yourself, what things do you buy? So we have to use our money and begin to hold on to it so that we can start using our economic power to help make things happen. C-SPAN is the most boringest thing to ever watch. It's like watching paint dry. But if you watch C-SPAN when they bring a vote, when they bring a law up to be voted upon, an introduction of a law, then you can write your congressman or your senator and say, hey, I like this law, vote yes. Or I don't like it, vote no. But we got to know what's being presented. So C-SPAN is the camera on all day for what's happening in the House and Senate. And it is boring. But it has to be watched because nobody is out there telling us, hey, this is what we're going to vote on today. This is what we're going to vote on. This is the new thing coming out. No, it's our responsibility as citizens to know what is on the docket for the day. So, even though the control is in the Republicans, I don't want us to feel despair. I don't want us to feel like they get ready to come lock everybody up. I don't know why people are saying that. I don't know. I don't have that in my head. I I don't know where it came from. I never heard that. But I understand. I understand the fear, but we can't move in fear, because if we move in fear, then we're not thinking clearly, right? So we have to be clear-minded so that we can be in a strategic mode to move like we playing chess. Because this is strategy that is needed. The political scene is strategic, and you got to strategize. You got to maneuver. You got to shake one hand and hide the other. And I don't like that kind of stuff, but that's the game that's being played. And it's a crazy game, but it has to be played, because when in Rome, you do as the Romans, right? So we got to start somewhere. And where we need to start is attending those meetings, attending the city council meetings. Know what's happening in your city. Know what's happening in your township. Know what's happening in your school districts. Because this is what the taxpayers' money goes into. And as a taxpayer, if you own property, if you work in the city or state, you're paying taxes. And every state has their own legislative, judicial, and executive branch. So you have to start there. In your city, you have your city council people. They go up and report to the mayor. The mayor reports to the governor of your state. And every state has its own laws. The United States is made up of independent states, really. We are a republic, not a democracy. We are made up of independent states that have come together in agreement to function as one United States with a federal government. And that's like the most simplest terms I can give it. So our federal government oversees things that should be congruent for the safety of all people, but the individual states have rights and rules for their states. And every state's rights and rules are just a little bit different. So know what your state's rights and rules are. Attend those city council meetings. Attend those school board meetings. Attend those township meetings. Know what your governor, your mayor, your governor wants to do in your state. And if you don't agree, you tell them that. You can send a letter. You can phone in. If you don't agree with what's happening in your state, you can also write a letter to your congressman, make a phone call. I know we as Black people like to march. In my opinion, marching doesn't do anything but we march. Just make your feet tired. But if that's what you want to do, then by all means, march. I personally think that we need to be strategic economically, and we need to write letters, and we need to get on the phone, and we need to bombard them. We need to bombard them to make sure that we have representation, that we are getting the things that we need for us and for our communities. And every community is different. And again, like I always say, start with you and your household, go out to your neighborhood, and then your community. Know what you all want. Get it down in writing. Come together. Have your meetings. Have representatives go and reach out to each and every area, so that for your area, for your community, your state, you have what you need. Now, this is the most important part, I think. You have to know how people vote. So don't go to their website, because that's bias. Don't go to a political website, because that's bias. You go to the source. Every branch, judicial, and legislative, you can go to the Senate and look up a senator's voting record. What did they say yes to? What did they say no to? That's public information. You can do the same thing for the House of Representatives. Know who yours are, look their names up, and see what their voting record is. Vote for people that vote for that match your values and your morals. You will never, ever agree with one person 100% of the time. And in my opinion, all politicians lie. So whatever they say on the campaign trail, whatever. Let me see how you vote. So I look up people before I vote. It takes me a little while, to be honest with you, before I make a vote. It takes me about a month to research the persons that are running. So I get my little sample ballot and I look up their voting records and I make my decision on who I'm going to vote for before I even get to the ballot. So I vote for people whose voting record lines up with my values and my morals. Now, what you have to do is remember that every 4 years is not the big election. It's those that happen every 2 years. So the House of Representatives is every 2 years. Let me see. I have that written down because I want to make sure I'm giving it to you correctly. Every 2 years we vote, excuse me, for the Congress, the House of Representatives. Yes. So in 2 years, the House of Representatives that have not voted the way that you wanted them to vote, especially the ones that you called, if it's their time, you got to vote them out. So we need to be paying attention. Every 4 years, you come out in droves. But what happens in them 2-year times? And that's how we are. I'm not going to say that's how we got where we are, because that's not the whole truth. But that's a part of the reason how we got to where we are. So in the next 2 years, pay attention to how people are voting. If you need to go back and look their voting record up, then by all means do that. Go directly to the source. There's a website, House of Representatives. You can Google it. See the voting record for this representative or this congressman or congresswoman. And it'll show you how they voted. That is public knowledge. And then make your choices based on your values and your morals. But you have to remember that we can't sit down. We can't roll over. We can't get trampled on. We have to stand 10 toes down, flat-footed, and demand what we want. I'm not speaking about violence, and I'm not speaking about doing anything illegal. I'm talking about being strategic, playing chess, just like they do. We have to do it smart, and we have to do it strategically. I, by all means, do not have all the answers. I don't even have a little bit of answers. This is just stuff that's in my brain that I learned by taking public health classes, that I learned on advocacy, and I've seen, right? I've seen it happen. I have seen people, black and white, make change through calling, writing letters, advocating, and that's how things get done. And that's what we have to do. So don't roll over, don't lay down, and don't sit down. Stand up, hold your head up high, stick your chest out, and put your shoulders back. Because we still in this game. We are here. This is our country too. And we have a right to demand what we want and what we need for us. Because we are going to live, and we are going to live high quality lives. We are going to have health care. We are going to have access to health care. And we are going to have the healthy foods, the healthy medicine, and the preventive care that we need to live those healthy lives. Thank you for listening. Share this video and get your communities together, and let's do something. Let me know what y'all want to do, because I surely do not have all the ideas. Thank you for listening. and don't forget to share it. Have a great day. Toodles. Hey, thanks for tuning in. Remember that your health is your wealth and knowledge is power. So like, share, leave me a comment, send it to a friend. And thank you for tuning in. I'll see you next time. Toodles.